Hey everybody, it's May 30th, 2023, Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We're going live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. It froze up right now. Hopefully that's working now. Let's see. We're all these different apps right now. Again, I was saying LinkedIn, TikTok, and Instagram. We're gonna have a lot of questions popping up, and I'm doing it solo today. So that's gonna cause me to kind of keep track of things a little harder, especially on TikTok where we get tons and tons of questions. Sorry if I'm not able to respond to all of them. Try only post your question once so we can kind of keep some sort of system going on. We're going to do general immigration questions, educational purposes, not intended for individual legal guidance. Hi, Sammy. Good to see you as well. So that you can learn about the system and get a better idea of what's going on. We also give away 3 free video consultations throughout the show, and we just randomly pick somebody as it's going forward. If you like to subscribe, it helps out a lot. And with that, let's get the show started. So we have our first question. Nafe asks, "Hi, Attorney John. I hope you're doing good." Oh, doing good. It's not a question, but just a kind word. Good to see you. Sammy asks, "Hi, Mr. John. As far as I know, your offices take I-751 applications for removal conditions. My question is, what's the average time currently you're facing? What are your thoughts about the I-751 processing time?" So that's a really interesting question. The I-751 removal of conditions process is for people who have been married and got a green card based on marriage, and the green card is issued for only 2 years. This is because their marriage is new, and so when they got the green card, the government wants to double check to make sure things are up and up. They want more evidence. Now, they don't have too many officers employed to adjudicate these kind of cases. It's not a priority for them because once you file the case, they give you an automatic extension of your expired green card, the expired 2-year green card, automatic extension for 4 years or 48 months. Because of that, they say, well, you'll get to you and get to you. So it's not a priority, not that much stuff going on. Average, I'm practically seeing for my cases is anywhere from 6 to 24 months. But I'm hearing, based on the show, and people contact me, it going even longer. So that's what's happening. It's unfortunate. It's kind of out of control. Having said that, if you've been married and living with a U.S. citizen in the last 3 years, you have the basics needed to file for citizenship at the 3-year mark. So about half my, if not more, of my cases, if the I-751 has not been approved, we had already filed for citizenship, and at their citizenship or naturalization is the property, in their naturalization interview, they adjudicate the form I-751 removal conditions right there, and they take care of it. So that's what we do. Now, if you're married to a green card holder, or you have other issues not satisfying the basic citizenship requirements, that becomes a problem. But having said that, it's annoying to wait these delays. Some people get paranoid, annoyed, and worried and stuff. I had one viewer who sued them. I didn't think that loss was necessary. They could have filed for citizenship, got done, but they decided to sue them out of frustration. So those are some things to worry about and to deal with on these kind of cases. Samuel, thank you for your message. I'm going to take a question from TikTok from RG, which is really good questions. It's not a question, it's a comment, but I want other people to know about it. It's saying, my case is returning to National Visa Center. And this is really bad when that happens. If you have a case that went to the embassy and it was returned to the National Visa Center, this means that for some reason the embassy did not accept it. Usually it could be a fraud finding or something really bad like that. And it's going to go into a black hole that may take years. So not always, but most of the time, it'll take years for that case to go anywhere. So the embassy sends it back to the National Visa Center, then they send it back to USCIS. USCIS reviews it, and either they send it back to the National Visa Center or they send it to you with a denial or RFE or notice of intent to deny or something like that. So you definitely want to talk with an immigration attorney who knows this stuff to practice and see what's going on and why this happened. Usually you want to try to catch the case before it leaves the embassy, goes to the National Visa Center, because once it's at the National Visa Center, it's gone. And so maybe we refile the case or something, we see what's going on, but we got to see what's going on there first. I'm sorry to hear that because it's really, really bad, that's a bad situation. On Instagram, G4 says, what is the maximum amount of money my parents can put in my bank account as an F1 student? There's no maximum amount of money that just doesn't work that way. There's no maximums. Aldair says, hello to you too. Brian asks, I'm a U.S. citizen about to file the I-130 for my French Malaysian wife. We're going through consular processing. Can I file while she's in the country? She's leaving June 19th. Yeah, you can start the consular processing while she's visiting and stuff too. That's not a problem. Meancast, are there I-130 delays? And it's not delays, depends on your case, but it's taken a year, 12 to 14 months for spouse of citizens on average, almost 2 years for spouses of green card holders. Okay, Boda says, hi, I'm Sudanese. Well, thank you, welcome. Good to see people from Sudan coming in as well. Let's go to TikTok and answer a question right there. Alice says, my husband is abusive. I want to deport him. He is here 10 months ago. I'm a citizen. Sorry to hear that. Definitely, if someone's abusive, you should get help needed. But I don't have any expertise I can provide for you about that. I saw us. How about a misdemeanor for assaulting a police officer? Those charges going forgiven for immigration? Probably not. We got to analyze what the statute was. So it's not something I can answer here. There has to be a case analysis there to happen to see what's going on. Omar asks, why do immigration charge so much to fill out the AP application? Well, too much, so much is relative. Some people, it's not a lot of money. It depends on how much work they're putting in, what level of skill they have, experience, how much attention to give. It just depends on what's going on. Cassandra asks, hello, how are you? What if I don't have text messages to present as evidence? Well, use other evidence. Hunter says, how old does my daughter need to be for her to submit an I-130 petition? It's 21 years old. Next question from Ephraim asks, regards, happy evening. I have an approved I-140. I'm pending I-539 E2 visa extension. Can I request change of status without receiving an I-539 response? My wife is the primary and has I-94 until July 30th. I'm not really sure what's going on. You got to approve I-140. If you're able to file for the I-485, you want to file that. But if you have a pending extension, why do you want to do change of status? I think you mean adjustment of status. It may be possible depending on what your existing status is different. So this is too much case specific. I got to analyze your existing I-94s. I got to analyze your I-485 case when you enter. A lot of different things may be possible. We'll just announce our first winner for our free video consultation. Ephraim, take a screenshot where you're watching this and email it to me at info@jqklaw.com. And we'll do a free 15-minute video chat. For those just tuning into live, sure, we have a free video consultation. We have 2 more to give away. All you got to do is like, subscribe, ask a question, write consultation just once, not multiple times. I'll randomly choose somebody, semi-randomly choose somebody to have a free private consultation. Jordan, one of our regulars, says, hey, John, what's up? Good to see you. What's the likelihood of having misrepresentation issues if I adjust status in the U.S. after marriage, after the 90-day period on H-1B and a visitor visa? Well, if there's no misrepresentation, the issue is on an H-1B because H-1B is a dual intent visa. On a visitor visa, they probably will care if you're married to a citizen in particular. It depends on intent and how it looks and how strict the officer wants to be. Usually it's not a problem, but it depends on all the factual circumstances of your entry, your return ticket, your goals here, how much it looks like you had immigrant intent. With the H-1 visa, it's okay. Visitor visa, it could be a problem. What is the time for green cards outside the USA? Well, it depends on what kind of green card you're asking for. Mink asks, also, the I-130 approved, what happens next? After the I-130 is approved, if you'd been in the United States, you potentially file for adjustment of status. If you're outside, then you begin consular processing, depending on what preference category I-130 you have. So we're going to go to Instagram, TikTok really quick. I don't handle Nigerian visas. I got a question about that. What can be considered as enough evidence for a marriage-based green card? I got married in a couple of days' time. Well, download my guide and I'll go over stuff. It depends on the totality of your situation. So it's not like a fixed thing, but go check out my guide. It's at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That's marriageimmigrationlaw.com. And you'll get some good information there. Alo asks, do you think that USCIS will listen to me if I repeat abuse about him? It is what it is. Give it a shot. Laura says, I-130 approved in USCIS 7 months ago, but not going to forward you NBC. We got to contact them to see what's going on. Potentially read your receipt notice. Does it say that they're keeping your case for adjustment of status? That may happen. You either incorrectly filed the form or they're making a mistake, but you got to keep an eye on it. Are they processing times fast now? It depends on what case you have. So here we have Ome says, after F21 to IR1, NBC put case on hold without having interview yet. DQR day already passed. Documentary qualified date is not a passing date. It just happens and you wait for the case to come up for interview. User says, hello, my brother's petition is approved. How long to wait until visa is available for him? Probably 15 years or so. I'm not going to answer questions about the bills and acts, like the Dignity Act, all this stuff for Congress. None of them are going to go through, frankly. So, that's that. Jory says, can I renew my residence with a felony? Depends on what the felony is in the background. I should talk with a lawyer in private about that. Julio Verne asks, hi again, green card for adult daughter with DACA. In question about petitioner's class of admission, the first entrance B2 or the one on resident card IRO. Class of admission for the LPR petition for daughter will be the green card LPR petition. The I-130, I can't give individual guidance. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about here, but on the I-130 is the question, if you're a green card holder petitioning for someone else, what status the admission is. It's listed as the code that's on the green card. Article says, hello, I filed for my family of 4, my wife and kids. I'm filing I-864W for 2 kids. How do I calculate household size for my wife's I-864? I can't provide for individual guidance. So I got to see why you're doing an I-864W anyways in the first place. But I got to limit myself not telling people how to fill out forms here without based on general stuff like this. Now, Brian McRae says, I heard that they want notarized originals for letters from family and friends supporting the couple. Is the scan of these okay? So we can hang out the originals. I thought documents won't be returned. So Brian, you don't need to send, if you're doing an I-751, they want originals, but you don't necessarily need to send them right now. Let's say RFE for it or something like that, which you probably won't. We send copies and we don't notarize stuff. If you download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com, those letters from family and friends, I have a format for it of how to do essentially notarization without getting it notarized. It's a sample is in there. They don't get much credence to these letters anyway, so it's not that big a deal, but you know, that's that. Oh yeah, so again, LPR daughter, we answered that question. Is Shronda ask, documents are qualified next month. Lagos, do you see faster in Lagos? Unfortunately, Lagos, Nigeria is very, 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 very slow. We don't see much going on, and especially, you know, marriage cases, you think they'd be faster, but we have cases stuck as well there. I'm sorry, unfortunately, people are separated for long times. Mo asks, what options do international students have if the H-1B visa is not approved in last attempt? I did a detailed video of this on our YouTube channel. Check out, it's an hour-long video. But potentially, you know, you could change the status to B2. You could continue to go to school with a higher degree maybe, or just some other degree. There might be other categories like the national interest waiver, the green card, if you've been doing some cool work, and that's possible. You know, depending on what country you're from, you maybe start your own business and invest in that, get an E2 visa. So there's options available. Whether is an option for you, I don't know. I can't say. But there's some options available. Let's go to TikTok. Lala says, if my partner divorces, how long do we have to wait to remarry? That's a family law question depending on your state. OB says, what can be considered as enough evidence? We already answered that question. I think a lot of repeat questions there on TikTok. Rodriguez says, do you think they will remove the COVID vaccine requirement for adjustment status? I have no ability to answer that. I don't have any control over that. Mo asks again, how can Indian international student apply for a green card directly without a job? National interest waiver, EB-1A, or if you're really rich, EB-5. Jordy says, can I renew my president? We already answered that question. A lot of repeats here. Jaskin says, I-485 RFE, how long to hear back? You know, it's up to them. There's no deadline for that. Can I go outside the USA with my combo card? I'm scared. Well, if you're scared, then don't go. But unless it's really urgent, don't bother. Hope Domingo says, thank you for what you do. Thank you, Hope. I appreciate that. God bless you. Capillo says, hi, I'm an asylee in the USA. My asylum was recently approved. When can I apply for a green card? You know, they changed the rules on this, and they haven't filed any of these, but essentially, it used to be you have to wait 1 full year, but they've changed and rejiggered the rules. I'm not sure exactly how it works out right now. Please don't repeat your questions. I already answered them, and I'm not going to answer again if you missed it. King asks, I sent a 5 removal of conditions, almost 5 years, no news from you. So what should I do legal way out? You got to sue them. 5 years for some removal of conditions pending. That's not good. You have some serious problems. You're going to talk to a lawyer in private and maybe sue the government if it's appropriate. Thomas asked, I received an RFE from a medical, asking to return it back after just 10 days of filing for NBC. Is it normal to receive this quick? Things are getting faster and faster recently. So, you know, it's not normal, but these things are happening. Kinstein says, when is USC going to increase the filing fee? Who knows? And what are the vaccinations needed for the medical exam? It depends on your background and stuff like that and what time of year it is. But look at Form I-693. There's a list over there. Aldair says, hello, John. I have a green card. I have to have it too. I filled out the I-130 for my spouse and it was approved. They sent me the I-824 form. I filled out and sent it to the post. I'm not sure what your question is, but sorry that you have to deal with the I-824. Kin follows up. Does the police record expires only valid for 6 months? How do you know when it's time to apply for it? Not too early, not too late. So if the police certificate's a requirement, if you're doing consular processing from certain countries, they'll require police certificates to have a clear record. Typically, it's valid right now for COVID. They said 2 years, but a year is typical. Sometimes on the document, a less time, and MC may or may not go by that. We usually time it to get it soon after, when we think the I-130 is about to be approved. Then we'll start getting the police certificates. And if it takes a long time to get into interview, we ask clients just get a backup one, a new one, just to be safe. Bobby asks, hi, John. I'm Bobak. I live in the U.S. My case says CR1. My wife is Iran. She's never been abroad, never had a government job. Case of DQ, North 2022. How long does it take to interview in Abu Dhabi? Probably 2 years after being DQ'd, or 22 months, something like that, unfortunately. Other says, how long to get the I-824 approved? 3 months to 15 months average. And then even after it's approved, it might take longer to get to the National Media Center. Sometimes it's better just to file a new I-130. Nazir says, my husband filed the I-130 in 2021. They asked for RFE, sent it a year and a half ago, still no approval. You got to contact USCIS, see what's going on. Julio asks, Julio, I answered your question on this one. I'm not sure exactly which part you're talking about, but you know, they're LPR Dodge question benefits information on user return with urgent at 1 year old last one to the AP. Julio, I can't answer too specific here. I think like if you're filling out I-130 and asks about the green card holder status, you put in what's on the green card. For the beneficiary, you could handwrite in the status they last entered in, and maybe handwrite in like what happened. Like if it was a B2 and expired, or with AP, you could write AP probably or something like that. But I can't answer specific questions because although I think we've talked before, any answer I give that has deeper stuff I got to follow up with and make sure I'm saying it right. So I can't go that deep into telling somebody how to fill out a form or what to write, something like that here. It's too risky that I'm going to make a mistake. Patrick says, hello, I got my I-485 updated finally. I got the letter that says I got approved. I might have to do biometrics. Now I got approved. What should I have to? Yeah, wait for biometrics for the green card. Nafar follows up, can I petition my parents although I'm jobless? How many sponsors does that require? Yeah, you can't petition for them. There's no sponsorship, financial sponsor requirement by the I-130. But for the I-130, how many sponsors does that require? Requires one sponsor that makes enough money or has enough assets. The BR asks, hi, John, what's the processing time right now for I-130s? Go check out USCIS.gov. There's 5 different types of I-130s. It depends on what kind that you have. And more than 5, really, 5 variations, like 15 variations. Kin says, thank you very much, John. You're welcome. Nadia says, how long does the embassy take to schedule an interview? Embassy does not schedule interviews. It's up to the embassy. Some embassies will schedule after 3 months, and some will schedule after 3 years. So it's just that's inconsistent. Dr. Tosa, visitor's visa. My husband's USA citizen. So what is the procedure for I can stay more than 6 months? If you want to extend the visa, you file a visa extension. Sadallah says, hi, John. How does USCIS look at unsolicited evidence uploaded online after filing? Well, historically, when you're doing paper filing, so if you're mailing it afterwards, they don't like that at all. The new online system seems to say that they want you to do that, so it's a whole different thing. I'm new to the online filing system, so like I'm not because I try to avoid it, but recently I've been doing it. If you have good evidence, then do it. But back when we did paper, they didn't like that, but the new online system seems like they want you to do that. So who knows? Julia Julio says, thank you very much. Anyway, you're welcome, Julio. Sorry, I could have been more detailed info here, but I appreciate you being on the show and everything. Mane says, hello, I have a question. Does immigration require COVID vaccination regarding medical exams? Yes, they do for the green cards. Patrick says, thanks for your help, but I did my biometrics before. Why asking again? And that's USCIS. You know, it is why we don't ask why, we just do it to get the green card. And so let's take some questions from TikTok. Islamabad interview for Tawassam. Yeah, they were hugely delayed. Jen says, can a cousin that is a citizen sponsor aunt for a green card? No. I mean, they could be a financial sponsor, but I can't submit I-130 for an aunt. After you guys, how long to get my green card? I don't know. It's up to USCIS. Maine says, thank you so much. Thank you as well. User 58 says, can I go outside? You already answered that question. Zora, why is fiance visa taking as long as marriage? Yeah, it's really the timeline for fiance visas are stretched out. So in essence, they're taking longer than marriage cases to get the family member here. Arian says, my wife's I-130 got approved in January, but I haven't heard anything from NBC yet. What should I do? Check your receipt to make sure the case was transferred there. And if it was, contact the NBC to see what's going on. My partner is going through a divorce. How long divorce can you marry me? I don't know. A lot of repeat. Please don't ask repeat questions. File 130 relatives. File 913 for a relative abroad and mistakenly sent to AOS. If approved, it will be sent to NBC. No, unfortunately, if you mistakenly file for adjustment status, they'll keep it here unless they're really nice. And they file another form called Form I-824. Big mess right there. I have a bunch of videos on that on YouTube. Just type in jqklaw I-824 and you'll get information on it. Adama says, good morning. I need a B1, B2 visa, but I can't get a date in my country. Can I go to a different country? Yeah, for tourist visas, you go to different countries, but the interview will be in English. They might be suspicious that they're coming. One thing you can do is keep checking the website every 12 hours to 24 hours. There may be some openings that pop up, so you get an earlier B1, B2 visa appointment. User 95 says, what is the average time for I-130 to bring my wife from overseas? The I-130 is 13 months. Who knows how long the embassy processing takes? Miles talks about, does a 90-day rule apply for parents of U.S. citizens before filing the I-130, I-140? There's no 90-day rule by USCIS. They do an individual review to see if they consider there to be misrepresentation by coming to U.S. to file for adjustment of status. So you just gotta, not be doing misrep, and you'll be okay. Going through some repeat questions. My wife joined me here in the 4 months later. I-130 got approved after she filed I-485. How long is it? There's no timelines that can be quoted. How much time does it take to get a green card? F4 visa category, 15 years, or probably more. Lily, can I get a driver's license or tourist visa? In some states, sometimes they'll give it, but generally no. A farm says, thank you. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Zed says, I'm a graduate student and I'm working on my master's. I've been offered a job. What do I need to do? You need to talk with a lawyer. Your employer needs to hire a lawyer. I mean, if you're a graduate student, you might have OPT or CPT, but it's best to just, Zed, consult an attorney. Now, if you're still watching, Zed, I'll give you a free video consultation to you, 15 minutes. Just like and subscribe or follow us here, which I think you already have or something like that. But take a screenshot where you're watching Zed Gang and email that picture to me at info@jqklaw.com. And what I'll do is I'll send you a calendar link so you could schedule a private consultation. We'll discuss it a little bit there, and so you can move forward from there. Tio says, I lost my passport as an immigrant. What I need to do? You need to get a new passport. Pepio says, thank you. Zed Gang, how do I make appointments? So Zed Gang, you just got a free one. Just email me with a screenshot from TikTok so I know it's your username, not someone else acting like you. Meek says, does it make sense to file a K3 from your spouse? Sometimes filing a K3 causes the I-130 to be sped up faster. So we do it more and more nowadays. Miles says, how long have you been an immigration attorney for? Since, I don't know, it's been like 12 years, I think, 12, 13 years. And I study immigration law, so really, and I do a lot of work in immigration field. It's more like, practically, it's like 25 years because I work on it so hard. But yeah, it's been a while. On TikTok, I'm sorry, Instagram, Sebita says, may I know how much an immigration law practitioner makes each year? The prices ranges. Immigration lawyers can make anywhere from 30, 40, 50,000 to, 500,000 or $1 million. Probably average is less than 100,000. But if you know what you're doing, you probably get 200, 300, and then partners, big firms who work their butt off to probably make 500,000, $1 million, some more. Okay, so Miles says, my parents came out of B1 PTVs. I'm 22 years old. They changed their mind and want to stay. They've been here for 36 days. Should I file? I can't tell you what to do. You're not my client, Miles. So they should look into filing, but I can't say do it or do not. You're not my client, and it wouldn't be appropriate for me to say such a big thing without reviewing our stuff. For example, they may have inappropriate birth certificates that have issues on it. If I tell you to file a case and there's an RFE, you're messed there. So I don't. So there's consult attorney in private about that kind of stuff. Senior designer says, question, if U.S. citizen parent sponsors an adult child in the process, the U.S. citizen parents got married, will it affect the filing? No, just change the filing fee amount. And not filing fee, the I-864 financial sponsorship amount, the minimum that you need to make. Marva says, can someone on filing apply for visitor visa to another country? Well, applying for, I'm not sure what filing for visitor visa to another country means in this context, why that makes a difference. Diana says, my base employment I-130 was approved. I'm not sure what that means. But company has sold, no longer in business. I have a sibling who is a citizen. I'm currently DACA. Anything be done? I don't know because your I-130 is not employment-based. Sibling petitions take too long. I don't know if anything could be done in that kind of case. I'm sorry. USA Money says, hi, my work permit CO9, more than 90 days since applied. How to expedite? You call them up and request to expedite. Miles asks, how long does it take for U.S. citizen to sponsor siblings under 21? Who is already in the States? How long is it for U.S. citizen to sponsor siblings? So siblings, the ages doesn't matter. It's going to take forever. It's going to take at least 15, 18 years, if not more. Lee says, okay, I'll answer that. Let's see. Kado says, I got an RFE medical, then the EAD is still possible. I'll go with the interview waiver. Yeah, still possible. You probably get the interview, probably just get the green card, not an EAD. How do you expedite an interview for consular processing? You contact the National Visa Center and the embassy, or the embassy, and ask them for expedite for whatever reason you have. Benjamin says our sibling visa got approved today. How long do we have? I don't know. You have, it's listed on the visa how long you have to enter the United States. So check out the visit visa. B Music says, I'm a new student. I would like to know, how old were you when you graduated from immigration lawyer? I think maybe from law school. I was 25, I think, when I graduated from law school. Samuel says, how does my foreign spouse register marriage in the United States? You don't need to register your marriage in the United States. The U.S. recognizes foreign marriages as long as they're legal where they occurred. NS Realty says, for I-130, which service center, in your opinion, is the slowest? It varies. It is probably Texas, but it's, they're inconsistent. Some are fast, some are slower. One case will be fast, one case will be slow. What is, Kasim, what is the common question in the interview? What's your name? It's the most common question. Then it says, "Hi, custom at the border know that you have a child and different man. I have 2-year green card. I don't know what they know. Maybe, maybe not." Rev says, "If someone is a pending asylum case, can't you apply for EB3 visa to adjust status? Typically, they'll deny that if you haven't maintained status, but sometimes they'll approve it." Cal says, "I-24 taking so long, please elbow." I'm not sure what the elbow part means, but yeah, it sucks. It's bad. I don't have opinion on which field out was the fastest. You just do the case and you wish for the best. Ophelia says, "I started and sent an I-130 form, I-130 for my husband, but we have to return to our country for some issues we have there. If we want to start the process there, should we send again the I-130? No, just keep it going. Later on, there's going to be an issue for consular processing. There's a lot going on. You really need to talk with the attorney before you leave. It could be 3 or 10-year bars that pop up. In your I-130, you might have suggested adjustment status of consular processing. That's going to be an issue because you have to do an I-24 later, and type in I-24 into Google and YouTube, and you'll see my videos on it. So you don't want to just up and leave. You need to talk to a lawyer in private. Benjamin Afari says, "I'm in our petition got approved today. How long do we have to get an interview for a sibling case? 15 years, if not more, depending on what country they're from." Samuel says, "God bless you. God bless you as well." Samuel. Miles says, "Can I get urgent advance parole for sick parents?" You could try. You could apply for it. Benjo first, it's been 8 years. It's going to be longer for a sibling case for sure. Sebide says, "I just passed the bar. Congrats, Sebide, but I have broad knowledge of employment-based. Do you recommend me to start my own firm or learn asylum family law too?" Depends on what you want to do, what your focus wants to be. If you really want to get involved in asylum, you might not be into it, and you might not be able to get clients. So if you can't, you got to work for somebody else. So it really depends on how much business acumen you have and what you want to focus your life on. That's the thing there. And check out my other series of videos under the Immigration Lawyers Toolbox banner. If you're a lawyer, you need to check that out. We have a magazine, podcast, workshops, courses, immigrationlawyerstoolbox.com or iltbox.com. That's the place to go. And congratulations on passing the bar. Nato says, "Can a spouse calling USCIS when marriage green card is pending help to approve the case?" No, that has nothing to do with the case, and they'll recommend bothering them about that. Polly says, "Is there a way to check on how long I-130 will take?" Yeah, go to USCIS.gov and you'll get some inconsistent, unreliable numbers that can help you out or not help you out. All right, Ahmad says, "My asylum interview was in December, but still waiting for result. I'm an Afghan parolee. Sorry to hear it's taking so long. I don't have an answer for that." Dan says, "Is there a medical exam required for Consular H4? Nope. Callie says, I-24 taking so long, filing for spouse by U.S. citizen. Any idea expedite? Yeah, file a new I-130 or call them to do an expedite or do lawsuit. There's a lot of things you could try. Hadri says, "Should I apply for my I-130 first or a visitor visa for my husband?" You should talk with a lawyer. Download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card Guide at marriageimmigrationlaw.com. That'll give you some ideas, but I can't advise. There's just too much going on there we need to talk about. Miles says, "Is consular processing or adjustment of status fast for immediate relative?" Generally, consular. Right now, it depends. Sometimes it's this, sometimes that. Right now, it's immediate relative adjustment of status in the U.S. But there was like 3 years ago, it was consular processing. So it varies. Hadri says, "Should I apply for I-130 first?" You answered that. Answered a lot of these questions. Any idea if an F1 student is currently out of status, eligible for the Dignity Act? There's no acts don't mean they're not law, so don't worry about laws. Until something becomes law, don't worry about it. Okay, let's see. Submitted RFE evidence over a month ago, but it's not sure received online. So they don't always update the online system. So it's just it is what it is. Imran says, "How can I expedite my I-130 process, even if it's taking longer than usual?" Call them and do an expedite request. Have some reason that's important that make them want to do it. They probably won't do it, but you can do that or sue them. Juan says, "Waiting for a 10-year green card. Can you file for citizenship? Is it better to wait to get a 10-year green card?" Some cases, if appropriate, we usually file for citizenship, but I don't know your individual case, so I can't say if that's appropriate or not. And we'll take 1 or 2 more questions. We're hitting 30-minute mark. Let's see. Now, is it better to asylum if I have an H-1B or H-1B to green card? Whichever one gets you the green card, really. And it's not better or worse, whichever case is stronger, or both. Try both. Why not? Any idea? Okay, no, we answered that. We got a lot of repeat questions. Please don't do repeats. I'm just going to skip it. I didn't receive my green card more than 90 days. Call USCIS. Please elaborate on for the I-24. We don't have time for that, but just if you type in I-24 in Google, all the videos that come up are from me because I'm the main attorney that talks about these. But just go to YouTube probably and type in I-24 and immigration lawyer and watch my videos on it. I break it all down there. Let's see. William says, "When applying for adjustment of status, you have to pay $410 for I-765. No, the I-765 right now doesn't have a fee if you're filing for adjustment of status." And Nimi Partner says, if someone in Canada, PR, is married to an undocumented immigrant in the USA, how can they stay in the USA? They can't. There's nothing going on there. Okay. I didn't receive blah. Let's see. So you guys keep asking the same question over again. I'm just not going to answer it, so don't bother doing stuff like that. Okay. And it kind of just makes it a mess for everyone else. Okay, so that's about it, everybody. I do want to thank everyone for coming to the show. Let's take one more question. Beats asks, could I know what steps did you take to graduate? For example, 2 years of college and bachelor's degree. Could you continue? So I guess I'll take a question about immigration law. Really quick, actually, Melik on Instagram says, does age gap make a difference for green card? No, I've done a lot of videos on this on YouTube. Go check it out. Type in age gap, jqklaw. They'll talk about it. We do these cases a lot. They look at the whole picture. Is this real marriage real or not? And that's what you got to focus on there. With regard to becoming an immigration lawyer, you got to US do 4 years. Typically, there's other ways to get around it, but it's very rare. You do 4 years of college, and then you go to law school. And once you graduate from law school, you take the bar exam. Now, if you're a lawyer abroad, California allows foreign lawyers to take the bar exam straight up. So that might be a faster way to do it, but it's a little bit harder because you haven't studied U.S. law. But yeah, take 4 years of college, 3 years of law school, pass the bar exam, and then you're just allowed to call yourself a lawyer. But to really be a lawyer, you got to practice. I was telling an associate this morning. You got to practice law for a couple of years until you can really be a lawyer, because it's a complicated thing. You got to keep doing it and deal with clients, deal with cases, the government, this and that, and courts and all that stuff to cut your teeth to become a real lawyer. And that takes years of experience writing and fighting and arguing, making money, losing money, all this kind of stuff. So that's it, being a lawyer in a nutshell. Thank you everyone for coming to the show. I had a lot of fun today. Went through the questions myself, and it was a pretty effective session. I liked it. Unfortunately, couldn't look at the camera a lot of times, so I was looking down, reading different things. But hey, God bless you. We'll be back again next week, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to look forward to seeing you all there. And, it's actually a big immigration lawyer conference coming up in a couple of weeks. A lot of your immigration is going to be in Orlando, Florida, myself included. But having said that, everyone, God bless, be safe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.